When I lived in New York City as a kid, my parents gave me an electric keyboard. Seeing as we lived in Hell's Kitchen and didn't have a car, it was lovingly carried many blocks from the music store up to our apartment. I like to think that along the way, it picked up countless sounds and fragments of magic. That keyboard has been a true friend to me for almost 20 years and has given life to many a song. Speaking of songs, cue theme song. 2020 was quite a year. Thank goodness a new one is here. I want to share some songs with you. I hope you love them like I love you. It's the 411 on 2020. The 411 on 2020. The 411 on 2020. It's free of charge, so you get your money's worth. And then hopefully a little bit more. Oh yeah. Hear Me Now all started with a dad and an idea. Namely, my dad and his idea. One December day in 2016, he mentioned the expression, "Can you hear me now?" would be a really good title for a song. Yes, it would. Yes, it would. The sinister chuckle was just for dramatic retelling, but you get the concept. I agreed wholeheartedly, and a few days later I found myself at my keyboard. I started experimenting with some chord voicings, mic'd the keyboard, set a drum loop, and started recording. Echoes are all that remain of the music and songs that we sang. We sit silently. You don't sing to me. It's so quiet here in this room when I try to show you a tune. You just close your ears. You don't want to hear. They say you never really know a good thing till it's gone. Maybe when you're on your own, you look back and see where it went wrong. Can you hear me now? Hear me now. Can you hear me now? Hear me now. The idea came together in an hour or two, no doubt thanks to the magic trapped inside the keyboard and some parental wisdom. Speaking of wisdom, let's get some truth straight from this week's esteemed imaginary sponsor. Soup on a stick. Soup on a stick. People, let me tell you about soup on a stick. The finest meal you can ever pick. Normal soup is quite a mess. Soup on a stick, it's the best. Pop it in the freezer and watch it go. Soup on a stick will steal the show. Soup on a stick. Soup on a stick. Soup on a stick is 100% artisanally slow-cooked soup, frozen for your convenience onto a stick. This soupsicle has all the flavor, portability, and convenience you could ever wish for. So what are you waiting for? Soup on a stick will bowl you over. Soup on a stick. Soup on a stick. Well, that was super. All right, where were we? Oh yeah, Nashville. When I went to Nashville for some gigs and writing the next month, Hear Me Now was definitely in my back pocket. Metaphorically, of course. Don't go sitting on your songs. Jeff Cohen, W.G. Snuffy Walden, and I got together over at Jeff's studio to do some writing, and I played the demo of the tune. They really liked it, and we sat down and started digging into lyrics and where the rest of the tune was going to go. Jeff had the concept for a bridge that really belted and soared, and so it did. We opted for a lyrically simple bridge in contrast to the very wordy verses. Hear me now, can you hear me now? Oh, now that I'm gone, now that I'm gone. Can you hear me now? When it was time to go back to LA, I did so with a suitcase full of songs and a stomach full of Crystal Burger. It really is the next best thing to White Castle. Nuggets, the chicken purse, was also incredibly grateful to be back in his home state. That was my airplane impression. Back in LA, Snuffy and I set out to record Hear Me Now for the Get Right album. It took us a while to really home in on the sound of the track. It had to feel timeless, but timely. It had many digital elements, but we wanted to retain an organic sound. After many days, we got it and created an extended ending. Snuffy and I reharmonized the end, and we wanted to capture the sound of things breaking down. Can you hear me now? 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 Woo! Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Hear me now? Can you hear me now? That pulsating you hear is a synth called Signal by Output, which I was absolutely obsessed with at the time. And that slapping sound you hear is this old bean pod percussion that Snuffy had. It's a huge dried out bean pod, and it makes this incredible sound. You already know what's coming. When it was time for 2020, the album, Hear Me Now had a special place on the set list. How do you bring this kind of song to life in a live setting? Easy. Add a shake of Martin Diller on drums for a solid foundation, a cup of Jonathan Richards for tasteful rhythm, 3 drops of Snuffy Walden for the blues, a dose of Andrew Kessler for organy goodness, and several dollops of Molly Weaver and Alex Nestor for vocals galore. Stir together, bake at 350, and you've got a song. Thanks for listening to my podcast and supporting my music. Please check out the new album, 2020, also available on vinyl and DVD. New episodes of Serenade every Tuesday. Can you hear me now?